And then you see, that may be one reason why school teachers exalted, before that, by establishing the relations between words. Punctuation establishes the relations between the people using words. That may be one reason why school teachers exalt it and lovers defy it. And then very humorously he says that, the punctuation marks are like traffic lights, very important. And so he says that they are very important. That is why school teachers like punctuations, because teachers they are very much interested in conveying the right meaning to the students. They are very particular about the grammar. School teachers, they love punctuations. Why? Because they are very particular to use the correct sentence and to convey the correct meaning to the students. And very humorously, Pico Iyer says that lovers defy it. Why? What can be the reason? He doesn't elaborate over it. That is, comma is a break, a small separation. Lovers doesn't want to be separated. That is why they defy the comma. Okay. And so that is explained in the paragraph. And then moving on to the next paragraph. Punctuation then is a civic prop, a pillar that holds the society upright. See, I told you as the third point, comma is a civic prop, a pillar that holds the society upright. Just as a pillar holds the building upright, it is the punctuation, like a pillar, holds the sentence correctly. It holds the sentence upright. And so that point is made specific in this paragraph. And again, the fourth point also you remember, comma is the signature of cultures, isn't it? That is, the culture of a period is revealed through the proper punctuation. See, that is seen here. A run-on sentence, its phrases piling up without division, is as unsightly as a sink piled high with dirty dishes. See, he says that just as a pillar holds a building upright, it is a comma that holds a sentence upright. And then he gives an example. Imagine that long sentences are written without any comma in between. The words and the phrases all will be mixed up. The reader will not be able to digest the meaning of the sentence. It is horrible to look at, like the dirty plates piled high in a kitchen sink. That is, all the phrases, all the words, everything is mixed up, and so the meaning is not clear. Then, how a punctuation reveals the culture of a generation, that is explained. Small wonder then that punctuation was one of the first proprieties of the Victorian age, the age of the corset. You remember the corset? Corset is an inner costume worn by the Victorian women. It's a shapewear. To give a perfect shape to the body, inside the outer gown, they will be wearing corset, Victorian women. And but the modernists threw off. But after the Victorian period is the 19th century, modern period 20th century. But in 20th century, the women, they were not interested in wearing corset, this inner costume and this inner wear, and they used to they removed it from their dress code. And similarly, during the Victorian period, there was great use of punctuation. Victorians gave great importance for punctuations, whereas the modern period, they used minimum punctuation. An example is given here. The sexual revolution might be said to have begun when Joyce's Molly Bloom spilled out all her private thoughts in 36 pages of unbridled, almost unperioded, no full stop, no comma, nothing, and officially censured prose. And then see example from the modern period to show that modernist writers, they never cared for punctuations. A good example by a classical writer, James Joyce. James Joyce, he is a great writer, and his masterpiece work is Ulysses. And when you study James Joyce, remember, he is important, or he is such a great writer, and a great feature of his writing is the stream of consciousness technique adopted by James Joyce. What is stream of consciousness technique? It is very simple. Your thoughts, everything comes out as such in the writings. Our feelings are not compartmentalized. Past, present, future, everything is mixed up. That is stream of consciousness technique. And James Joyce was a writer who popularized the stream of consciousness technique. You understood what is stream of consciousness technique? That is the thoughts, feelings, emotions, everything that are there in the human mind. It is presented as such in the writing. No division is made. Past, present, future, everything is mixed up. Actually, it is true to life, isn't it? Actually, there is no strict ordering in our emotions. But when we explain usually things to others, even if when you see a dream and if you narrate it to somebody, you will be giving an order to that. But a stream of consciousness technique, it doesn't want any order. Our thoughts and emotions are presented as such in writing, where past, present and future, everything is mixed up. And James Joyce, in his Ulysses, there is a character called Molly Bloom, who is the wife of Sir Leopold Bloom. And she is making a long speech in 36 pages. No full stop, no comma, no punctuation. And see, that is indicative of the modern period. And then a writer called E. Cummings. See, usually we write God with capital G, capital G. But when Cummings wrote God, he wrote the small g. And so the different culture is revealed. See, for us, we keep God as a separate entity. We give him a high position. That is why we use the capital letter. But see, according to Cummings, God is written with small g. It is a revolutionary change. Because Cummings doesn't consider God as a superior being, but as one among us. And so that change in culture is revealed by the different punctuations. Uppercase becomes lowercase, and then the entire meaning is changed. In one level, God is seen as a supreme being, where it is used in the uppercase. In the lowercase with small g, God is viewed as one among us. And so now you have understood, I suppose, how punctuation is a signature of a culture. Then punctuation, thus next paragraph, thus becomes the signature of cultures. The hot-blooded Spaniard, Spaniard means a native of Spain, seems to be revealed in the passion and urgency of his doubled exclamation points and question marks. And so nothing is there. The Spaniard, that is the native of Spain, they will be using double quotations, double exclamation marks. And so that is the indicative of the culture of Spain. Understood? Understood how punctuation becomes a signature of the culture, different cultures. And then coming down, you can see Chinese traditionally added to his so-called inscrutability by omitting directions from his ideograms. Ideograms, they are graphic signals. They are used by graphic signals used by the Chinese. Ideograms are the graphic signs used by Chinese people. Chinese people, they are very passive, and then they used this graphic language to convey an idea or a concept. For example, they used a red circle. If you see a red circle, that sign, what does it indicate? Not allowed. And then orange and yellow triangle. Orange, that indicates attention, danger, and so on. See, that is not very important, because later the Chinese themselves understood that these signals, these graphic signs cannot convey well the meaning. And so they dropped it.